everyone, welcome back to 6 p.m. Crypto News, and thank you once again for joining me today. Today, we will do an in-depth report about the status of ICOs and an overview of ICOs for 2018. Let's start with a general overview. Here, you can see the current stats of our ICO market. Funds raised in 2018. Total raised, $6,634,705,749 or $6.6 billion USD. Number of ICOs, 1,037. We can see a steady decline of raised funds and ICOs since the start of the year, with a small surge in May and June when the price of BTC recovered a little bit, following the general market trend. For the past year, ICOs are more and more failing to raise funds, with an impressive decrease between third quarter of 2017 and second quarter of 2018. In fact, ICOs are today 2.5 times less likely to raise funds than 12 months ago. As the competition is becoming fiercer, there are effectively more ICOs for the same amount of fundraising. Sophisticated and institutional investors will likely have to put in more work to identify the most profitable investment opportunities. Heavy investors increasingly look for anchors of trust and indications of quality. In March, we saw more ICOs that raised less on average. The total amount of funds raised in March also decreased significantly. This is most likely explained due to the adverse market conditions, having a bearish market right now. The average monthly ROIs, or return of investment, of ICO investments conducted in 2018 still are significantly lower than they used to be in 2017 if we compare the results. However, this is to be taken with a grain of salt, as most investments are similar like a good bottle of wine, and they age better over time. So we cannot rush to compare the results. However, it is normal that returns are lower since the correlation with the crypto market is very heavy, and we have been in a bearish trend for most of the whole year. The performance of an investment always is relative to alternative investment decisions, so we need to define the relevant investment strategies to compare the above developments with. Even though the average ROI of initial coin offerings have turned negative in the past month, we might as well have experienced similar results when investing in stocks, gold, or any other asset. And although returns on both Bitcoin and ICO investments are affected in the short term by the current market correction, looking at the last 3 major corrections in July, September, and November from last year, it shows that ICO investments still turn out very profitable over time. So while it is enticing to invest when everything is going up, it might actually be more profitable to invest into ICOs when the market is down. However, we are still only about a year into the boom of initial coin offerings, and thus historical data supporting this assumption is still limited. Now let's go over the biggest 3 scam ICOs and how much money was lost there. Pincoin, $660 million. Arise Bank, $600 million. And SaveDroid, $50 million. Now those account in total already of 1.3 billion USD, so that means the amount of money raised in real ICOs are a lot less. Also note that these projects each did raise those amounts we believe but are subject to extensive regulatory action, so we are not completely sure if they will get any refunds or what will happen to those raised funds. The worldwide ICO market is worth about 1/5 of the initial public offering, or IPO, market of the United States so far this year. And this is during a period when the US IPO market has recorded the highest level of activity since 2014. So ICOs are definitely something that is becoming more unpopular as a way to raise funds in comparison with other ways. A very big shift can be seen where the ICO is currently being incorporated. Last year, for instance, the ICO fundraising market share of the US compared to the rest of the market was 32%. In 2018, this has fallen to 10%. Cayman Islands had an ICO fundraising market share of 3% last year, but this year it has ballooned to 40%. It definitely shows that regulations are not in place yet correctly, and companies are finding small and more easy ways to run their ICO on very small and more shady locations. This, hopefully, will change in the near future. Hope this has been very informative for you and you have enjoyed this general overview. If you have any questions or comments, Feel free to comment it below. Anyway, it's time to say goodbye to all of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you like this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, leave a comment, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Hope to see you again next week at exactly 6 p.m. Again, my name is Vicky, and this is 6 p.m. Crypto News. Annyeong! Bye!